If you're looking for a super popular system for that 2018 and newer Mustang GT that does a great job of combining killer materials and a strong but not over-the-top tone, then the MBRP Pro Series Street version might just be the catback for you. Now, the Pro Series will boast premium 304 grade stainless steel along with the included Street Series mufflers here and H-pipe, all for south of $1,000. Install will not require any cutting or permanent modification, but will obviously require you to get underneath the car, so therefore the site will bump this one up to a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the old difficulty meter, and be sure to stay tuned for our detailed walkthrough to come later in the video. So if you're new to the MBRP lineup, here's a few things to expect when shopping some of their many different systems. First and foremost, they give prospective buyers a choice when it comes to sound between the street system that we have here and the more aggressive race system. On top of that, they go even further by giving owners a few choices when it comes to materials, essentially making something for everyone and every budget out there. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but first let's talk about the sound you can expect out of the street system here. Now, I'll be completely honest with you guys, usually when a company brands their system as a street variant, you expect things to be pretty tame overall. However, that's not the case here from MBRP. The Street to me sounds like a very pumped up factory system, but with all the rough around the edges, pops and crackles coming down off the revs to give this thing a bunch of attitude. Now, going to my Wake the Neighbor scale, I've got the Street coming in at a strong 3 out of 5 all day long. Inside the car, on the other hand, the MBRP, while audible, is a bit more polished compared to its more aggressive brother, the race system, and only the smallest amount of drone finds its way to the driver's ear while cruising on the highway. So how does the street system from MBRP achieve this deep, muscular tone? Well, to me, it's going to be the combination of the included H-pipe here, which will help add some depth to the tone and fight the Coyote stereotypical rasp. Now, that's going to be working with the Street Series mufflers here, which essentially are going to be the same thing found on the MBRP early S550 kits, but obviously now with the provisions for the 4-inch quad tips. Piping is all going to be 3-inch mandrel vent here, guys, leading into and out of those Street Series mufflers before exiting out again the 4-inch stainless tips, fully polished and etched with the MBRP logo. Now again, since this is the Pro Series from MBRP, they did pull out all of the stops when it comes to the material and went with, again, that 304 grade stainless steel from tip to tip here, which ultimately is going to be the best out there when it comes to reducing or preventing corrosion. Now, as a result of that, MBRP is also going to back this system with their corresponding lifetime warranty. Again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, if you love the sound of the street system, but you wanted to keep things a little bit more budget friendly, MBRP does also offer their installer series, which can be had for roughly $600. But keep in mind, guys, that does feature aluminized steel in place of the 304 grade stainless, which will be a little bit more prone to that surface corrosion over the years. But now let's get into the installation as promised. And again, this is a 100% bolt-on job, so expect a relatively simple day in the driveway or garage with some basic hand tools. But to give you a better idea of how the day will go, here is a detailed walkthrough along with a tool breakdown.
Now, the tools used for this installation are as follows: an impact gun or a ratchet, a 15mm socket, and a 13mm socket. Now let's get started with the disassembly of our Mustang's catback. Now, with the S550 body style, these are the easiest to uninstall. You just take off 4 bolts at the rear for the hangers, 2 more bolts right here at this cross member. Then you go up and you loosen up the 2 clamps that come off your header extension pipes and slide the entire exhaust out as one unit. The only thing we'll be saving from our factory exhaust are our rubber isolators. We're going to begin with a 13mm to take off our hangers, and then a 15mm to disconnect our clamp. Now, with a 13mm on our ratchet, we're going to go ahead and get these bolts out that hold our rear hangers. Same 13mm, we're going to go ahead and get these 2 mid hangers out of the way. Now with our 15 millimeter socket on our larger impact gun, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect these 2 clamps. Now you don't need an impact gun, you can use a ratchet if that's all that you have. Now with all our bolts disconnected, we're gonna go ahead and get the help of a friend so we can slide our entire cat back out as one unit. Now we got our friend Ryan here to give us a hand pulling down our exhaust. All we're gonna do is lift it off of our hangers and slide it all out as one piece. Now we're gonna begin with the installation. We're gonna begin with installing our H-pipe. Now you can see it's H-pipe because it has this little pipe that adds them together instead of the 2 pipes crossing into each other. Now this is just gonna slide into our factory clamps, and I'm gonna hold it in place using my pole jack until we get everything else put on. We're not gonna tighten up the clamps just yet. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get our extension pipes on the back of our H-pipe. Now we're gonna use a clamp that was supplied in our kit. Just slide that over the end. And we're gonna use our factory hanger that came with our factory exhaust. Just slide that over. Now just repeat that for the other side, and then we'll move on to the ends. Now from this point, I like to go ahead and put these bolts back in to hold these hangers in place so they don't move around when we're trying to line everything up. All right, now we're ready to get our new mufflers into place, and with the use of a clamp that comes in your kit and our factory hangers that we took from our original exhaust, we're gonna go ahead and get this up in place. Slide it over the pipe and swing your new muffler up into place and just hang it from your clamp. And go ahead and just secure it down with one of the bolts. All right, now just repeat it for the other side. Now we can go ahead and finish bolting down our hangers. All right, now before we go and tighten up all of our clamps, we can go ahead and slide our tips on. This will help us line our mufflers up when we go to tighten everything up. Now just get them fitted where you like it. I think that looks pretty good there. Now with all of your parts installed, we can go ahead and start tightening up our clamps. But while we're tightening them up, we're gonna get everything leveled out and nice and straight. Start back here at the muffler. All right. Now with your large Allen key, we're gonna go ahead and tighten our tips down. Now with everything leveled out and tightened down, your exhaust is ready to go. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video and it showed you just what it takes to go ahead and install your new MBRP catback exhaust on your Mustang GT without active exhaust. For more parts and videos like these, visit us at AmericanMuscle.com.